Hey guys, how you doing? If the answer is not that good, then don't worry. At least I wanted you to try to solve this challenge. Because by trying it, you will figure out what's unclear right now and you will learn more afterwards. This challenge was originally planned way later, so we would have learned a lot of more before we would face this challenge. So I do not have the expectation that you can already solve this right now. In case if you did, well, great. This is super amazing, really. This is really great. And if not, then let's have a look together. Let's check out how we can patch this application and increase our power level to over 9000. Okay, let's go. You might have noticed I pulled out my black hoodie, so you definitely know now it's hacking time. Let's hack this application. Before we can do this, we need the APK. So how can we get this APK? There are two possible ways. The first one is we are opening Android Studio once again. So we go into Tools, Android Studio, bin, and we run the IDE script. Okay, here we have now our IDE. To get this application, we can simply build it once again. So we go into Build, Build APK, and we hit this button. Then within the event log, we can find out when this build process has been finished, and we get also this notification where this window pops up after the build process has been finished. Okay, we can see it over here. So we can simply click locate, and in case you did accidentally close this window, we can also check the event log. And here we can also click the locate button to locate our APK, to get into this folder, this directory where this APK is stored. Here we go. Now we copy paste this one and we create a new directory within our apps, and we name this challenge Smali1. Okay. The other way to get this file is we can get this directly from the Android Studio project. So within your home directory, if you have created this project, you can find them over here, Android Studio projects. In my case, I've got two additional projects. These are regarding two older challenges. And this one we have created together. So you should have something like Smali1 or the name that you have provided over there. Then we can go into app, build, output, APK, debug, and then we have this app over here. This is the same directory that gets opened when we click on locate. Alrighty, this directory is super hidden, I know, and you have to find your way through this. You can also go into this one and search for APK. I have done this at the beginning when I learned how to write Android applications, because I never find this application in this directory over there. Alrighty, now we can close this one and this one and this one also. Okay, after cleaning up the desktop, let's go into the apps directory. Apps and then challenge Smali1. So here's our APK, and we assume we do not have access to the source code because we are hackers and we do not have access to the source code normally. And we have pulled this APK from the device. Let's have a look into JDX, how this looks like. We open a new terminal, JDX GUI, and then we open this APK. Okay, our task is to increase the player power. Now we need to identify this value first within the source code. We can browse through those few packages, or we can hit the search button if this application will be larger in the future. So by clicking this, the application needs to be decompiled and indexed, so this might take a while, but then we can search for power. And here we get a bunch of output, because we can see this power is included in Android App Compat, in power management and all other kind of keywords. If we scroll down to the bottom of this page, we can see int power 12. So now we have identified this is our power level we want to increase. Alright. Let's pull out the Android virtual machine and see how this application works. In our case, we know this is a super basic application, but let's try and see if it's still working. So we use screen copy. And ADB is not connected right now, so we connect it first and then we use screen copy once again. Alright, here we've got our Smali1 application. If we hit this button, then we can see our hello world appears in the middle, right over there. And within the logcat, we should get our player output. ADB logcat, we grab for, we can find this also over here. Oh, not here. Within the usage of main activity, player power. All right, we can see we've got our player power 12. This is our normal value, and this one needs to be increased right now. Nice, everything is working so far, okay. If we want to change this value, we need to decompile this application. We need to change the Smali part, because this classes.dex file gets compiled or decompiled in those Smali files, and those Smali files can be recompiled into those classes.dex files. We cannot adjust this value over here in our Java code, so we cannot simply start writing this new value over there. We would have to include this whole project, and this means also those resources, layouts, and stuff like this. We've got an exercise where we have done this in some videos ago, and I guess we did end up with about 6,000 errors, so this would be ridiculous if we try to fix this. Therefore, we have to patch this in Smali. Alright. Oh, we keep this open because this can come handy later on. So let me minimize all of these windows. Okay, we open a new one over here, and then we use the APK tool. We say D for decode, or I say decompile, and then let's get out those Smali files. Alrighty, within this app directory we have this Smali structure over here. Where is now our player.smali file? Well, we check this with JDX GUI once again. We can close this one, and here we can say this player class is within the directory com app hacking smali1. So we go to com, I keep this in foreground, app hacking smali1. And here we've got this player.smali file. Nice. So this file contains this Java source code over here. Let's open this in an editor. You can choose whatever you like. You can use gedit, Vim, or in my case, I use Visual Studio Code over there because the syntax highlighting is pretty neat. So I keep this in foreground and I drag and drop this over here. And then we can also adjust the syntax highlighting. At the bottom, we choose Java. Yeah, it's not Java code, it's Smali code, but the Java syntax highlighting works pretty well. There's also a Smali plugin, a Smali syntax highlight plugin, but I would like to stick to the Java because I do not like installing these many random plugins. Okay, in the last video we've also figured out this one is our value. We want to patch this one, this value 12 right now. And the only requirement is that this value needs to be over 9,000. Therefore, let's choose a value over 9,000. We go into our Python editor. You can of course choose whatever you like. You can also do it in your head if you can calculate hex values this way. And let's see, I choose 9001 because I'm lazy, I'm a hacker, and this would meet the requirements. Okay, this one is this value, 2329. Let's copy paste this over. We do not know anything in this file. We do not know what V0 is, P0, or the other stuff. We just replace some values. Of course, this would be a bad approach, but we will learn Smali afterwards in the correct way. I just wanted to show you that Smali is not that hard, at least for those tasks. Alrighty, we save this file. We close this editor over here. We can also close this one. And now we need to go back to this one. And this is our application which needs to be built back again. If we now build this back with the APK tool, those Smali files get recompiled in those classes.dex file, which is our Java code afterwards. And by changing the Smali file, we can also take our change into this classes.dex file. And this should take effect. Let's see. We open a new terminal. I guess there are, meanwhile 10 terminals opened, but we do not care about this one. So APK tool, B for build, and then we choose app debug. We can see those Smali files or folders gets compiled into this classes.dex over there. Alrighty, we've got our APK. We've got this in dist, this one over here. Now we need to sign and install this. So we go into dist, dist. And now we zip align this first and use the APK signer afterwards, because we want to also meet the requirements for Android 11 applications in the future. If we have to deal with them, this is the best approach to sign this application. So zip align -v 4 and this one. And we name this out APK. Verification successful. We've got now our zip alignment on this APK. If you have skipped the signing part, you might want to rewatch this. Because in this video I will explain why we use zip align first and then the APK signer, and where the difference and problems are regarding to an Android 11 application. Okay, now we want to sign this application with the APK signer. So we say APK signer, sign, and then key store alias or key alias. Let's check this out. I'm going to open this help. Key store key alias this way. I always forget this parameter. And then I guess dash dash key. Ah yeah, okay, those two. All right. So APK signer, assign this one, and we have an alias name. And then we use key store and also our key store over here. And our APK, of course. My password was changed. Yes. Okay, now the application has been successfully signed. Let's uninstall the original application first, because if we try to do this, we might end up with the wrong certificate errors. So therefore we use adb uninstall, then com app hacking smali1. You can find this package name also in the Android manifest XML within JDX GUI, for example. If we go into resources, Android manifest XML at the end, com app hacking smali1. I'm not sure if you have chosen the same name. In case you didn't, then you have of course to use your own package name. Yes, I guess now we can close this. Okay, let's verify that the application has been uninstalled. It's still open, which is pretty crazy behavior in my opinion. We also got our SpacePeng application still open. Let's close them. Okay, it's not available anymore. We keep this in foreground, and now let's install this and see if we have a new power level. Yes, this one. adb logcat. Whoops. And we grab for power. Oh. ADB. I also choose the -e parameter in grep because this means case insensitive. So if the power would have been written all lower cases, then we will miss it if we do not provide this parameter. And yeah. So now we see we can also get this power management output, and this one is regarding to the old version. So let's open this smali1 and let's see. Alrighty, we can see we have a new power level. We are now on the power level over 9000. So this effect has taken place, and this is super ridiculous amazing. You can do a lot of stuff with this, and maybe we take a look into the SpacePeng application directly afterwards. Let's check. And maybe we take a look at the lives, and maybe we take a look at the SpacePeng application afterwards and increase the player lives immediately. And then we will start learning Smali. We will figure out what is this V0, what is P0, what is iGetObject, what is move result, and all this stuff. Alrighty? Okay. So, in case if this worked for you, super nice. If you have any questions regarding to this patching process, then write me a message. I'm glad if I can help you out on this. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video.